Why does the general RC community have a dislike for FPV? I don't understand the hate. I would guess that it's because FPV pilots came about through... The FPV pilots don't like to fly at traditional flying fields. We like to fly at parks, at buildings. We like to fly around natural obstacles. That's the fun of FPV, is you can do that. And multi-rotor specifically. So obviously you can put an FPV camera on a plane, but when you talk about FPV, a lot of people assume you're talking about multi-rotors. There's some truth to that. FPV came out... I was going to say FPV came out of the multi-rotor environment. Like, yes, the first FPV systems were on planes and even helicopters, but FPV really got big with multi-rotors. So the FPV pilots came along and they didn't want to fly at traditional flying fields because that's not interesting. And traditional fixed-wing pilots flying at flying fields didn't like FPV pilots because we don't want to fly. We want to fly all over the place. We don't want to fly just in a nice pattern. And we don't have the same visual perception as a pilot who is looking at... If I'm looking up at my plane as my plane flies along, I can see other planes in the environment and track them in a way that I can't when I'm in the goggles and I only see what's in front of me. So there was this cultural clash. And the traditional flight field people were annoyed that FPV pilots didn't come up through their training programs and so weren't trained in the culture of traditional flight fields. Then there's the argument that FPV pilots fly in unauthorized locations and we're ruining the hobby because we're, flying places we shouldn't fly, and then make people hate us. And then traditional RC flyers get lumped in with that. Stores don't like FPV gear because all the FPV pilots, we just buy all our shit off the internet because that's what you do. That's what you did. Traditional pilots went to hobby stores and bought stuff from hobby stores because they're old and the internet didn't exist when they were coming up. And so there's this established culture of going to hobby stores, and FPV multi-rotor pilots don't do that. And so we're used to this fast pace of development where the new hotness, and then the new hotness is out and there's a new hotness. And if you're running a retail brick and mortar store, it's very hard to keep up with that. So there's just all these cultural differences, like skiers and snowboarders. I think there's some truth to that.